Hello and welcome to Community Forum. I'm Heather Hansen O'Neill, and when I do a show, we focus on inspiration, connection, and contribution. And today we are most definitely going to cover all three of these. It's very different than I typically do, so let me give you a heads up on what's going on. Our focus today is on the Bethel Chamber of Commerce and Business, and I've brought some amazing business owners from the Bethel community. And I want to give you a little background on why I decided to choose this. I have taken on the role of the executive director position for the Bethel Chamber of Commerce. And I'm super excited about it because it's a great community. I live here, my kids live here, I do business here. It's just amazing. And I'm very proud to have this new position, and I want to share the benefits that some of these amazing businesses have had and how they contribute back. So I'm going to do a little introducing here, and then I'm going to open it up to you guys. So I typically only have one person at a time, so this is going to be very dynamic and fun. I'll start with you, Keith, a little intro for you. Keith is a BS in sports medicine from East Carolina University and an associate's degree in physical education from Becker College. He's also certified by the National Strength and Conditioning Association to work specifically with athletes. You're a certified athletic trainer since 2001, and you have experience in high school, college, and professional levels. Keith is a former three-sport collegiate athlete, nice, who specializes in performance training for both the scholastic and elite athlete. There's a lot more here, but I'm going to let you talk about that in a moment after I introduce the lovely Erin Volpentesta. Erin moved to Bethel in 1999 from her hometown of Los Angeles, California. You graduated as a music major from the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts and received your Bachelor's of Music in Vocal Performance from California State University, Long Beach. Erin has enjoyed a singing career packed full of jazz, rock, musical theater, opera, and session singing with performances at the LA Theater Center, Opera Pacific, the German Pink Pop Jazz Festival, and Capitol Records. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get tongue twisted. I can tell you that I've seen you, and you're awesome. We'll add more to that in just a moment. And this is the one where I need my glasses. This is the amazing Clay Karen. He was the 2014-2015 Bethel Chamber of Commerce Member of the Year.
Right.
He and his father are partners in Health Insurance Resources, a Bethel-based business in its 27th year. Clay was born and raised in Bethel, graduated from Bethel High School, and received his degree in business from Sacred Heart University. You're also a member of the Chamber's Executive Board and places a high priority on service to the Bethel community.
For sure.
Right. Yay, and so that's why I'm going to begin with you.
Okay, great.
How about you, we're going to come back to you and your business and how the business got involved into the Chamber, but what would you say is like the biggest thing that you would tell people about the Chamber? Some people don't really know all it does.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the most impactful thing about joining the Chamber for me has been the relationships that I've been able to build.
Yeah.
That's opened a lot of doors for both me and our business. For instance, that's why I'm here today talking to you. We met through the Chamber, and that's really what it's about, getting like-minded professionals together. Everybody, you know, in business in Bethel has the same goal no matter what industry they're in. And the Chamber serves as a great resource in getting those professionals together and thinking on the same page.
Great, yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. And Erin, how long have you been a member?
About a year plus.
Okay, so you're fairly new to the Chamber, so
Yes.
that's nice to get all the different perspectives. So far, what's your favorite part?
Well, the Chamber is really important to me because when I go, there's a couple different things I like to hit. Chamber offers a lot of meetings and social avenues. But the biggest thing for me is it makes you not feel alone as you're starting out as an entrepreneur or in town. You realize that everybody's feeling the same feelings and trying to figure out different aspects of their business. They're probably really good at one side, but they don't know how to do the back office, or they don't know where to advertise, and it's just nice to talk to people about it because it's really easy to feel isolated when you're first starting a business.
That's an excellent point, because it's not just the external, you have to present your business and get business and all that, but it's really the how do you create alliances that give you more strength as a business owner and learning along the way. A lot of, do you do some of the educational sessions? Because
Yes.
I know they've got some great educational sessions, and
Yes.
we'll be doing more of those as well, of course. So Keith, what about you? What do you like? Tell us a little bit more how you got involved in it.
Okay, well, I knew that if we were going to be, if we were going to look for the word of mouth to be our major form of marketing, that we needed to be where people are networking. And so when we were in Bethel for a while when we got started with our business, and then with structural issues to a building, we ended up leaving and moving up into New Milford. And when we did that, we left the chamber at the same time, and I felt like part of us never really came with us. And it actually hurt us as a business because we didn't really get involved there. We weren't looking for long term, but we ended up being there for 2 years. And then once the big dome, the Danbury Sports Dome was built, we came back. And ever since we've been back, they welcomed us with open arms, and we really got that connection. I think that the chamber, when you're a member, you really have, they give you the pulse of the town and what's up and coming. I love that annual meeting where you get to hear from all the projects that are going on, stores that are coming in, or how the roads and traffic's going to be affected. All the things that you wouldn't normally be a part of, all of those weekly meetings that you're not going to be going to, they all get wrapped up and into one. So I really enjoy that part of being a member. It's just all the information that they provide you.
That's great. I mean, because there's a lot of going to bat for the businesses with the government as well, and that's really important.
Yes.
You're going to have to tell me how to do that. Being on the executive. I know we're going to go back for a moment and just learn a little bit more about you guys as people. This is about the inspiration, the connection, and the contribution. We're covering the connection part with the Bethel Chamber of Commerce, which is a huge part of it. But I want you each to share with me something that either inspires you as a person, or what inspired you to start your business, or you're a little bit about your why. And whoever, you can just go, boo, pick me first. I won't choose you. Anybody chomping at the
Yeah.
Yay!
Mine's easy because for me it relates right back to my community. The space kind of found me. It inspired me. As you know, I grew up in the arts, and it was an instant. I don't know. For me, what inspires me is my community. Are the people, my children, my church, my town, my trainers, wherever I'm at, and I wanted to give back to them. That fills me. And the best way I know how to give back is through the arts, and maybe not just teaching the arts, but coordinating the arts. What a beautiful avenue, and it's just so starting to come alive in Bethel. It's the humanities. It's what we need in this time of chaos going on. It's a safety place. It's something for our kids to do that aren't athletes, So that's my inspiration, and it makes me feel full when I'm part of that process so it was just made total sense to have a hub where that creation could happen.
I personally was thrilled when you opened your doors, because I have an art dance background as well. So, and you really do an amazing job bringing that there. You see, I didn't even pay her. She added in the contribution part all on her own. I love this. That's awesome.
Connection. My kids say.
They're adorable. Keith, what about you?
Well, my why stems from just having a long career in sports and then having it cut short. And I see that happening over and over and again. And we tend to start as children when we grow up with athletics, is your dream is to always play professional. You always want to be great. And what I kept seeing was that I saw a lot of good athletes, and they were given really bad information. And so what I noticed when I got out of school was that there was a big gap in the way athletes were being taken care of. And I saw that as an athletic trainer, we were really doing our job well on the field, taking care of the athlete, keeping them safe, and making sure that they can get out to practice on time and really perform. But then when there was an injury, we were the athletic trainer themselves was doing a great job of getting that athlete seen by the proper medical professional, and really being the hub of the wheel when it's time for them to go outside and get care. Well, we were getting them to the proper medical professional. Well, then that medical professional would pass them down in the insurance chain, and then once insurance stopped paying for a service, the athlete stopped getting served. And we were getting them back at about 65, 70% as an athletic trainer, and then asked to put them back on the field. And because everything was signed off, they thought they were ready. And what we were finding was that they weren't maximizing their genetic potential at all. And so we started caring for these athletes and taking them from 70% to over 100 because they ended up being better than they were when they came to us. And we started getting asked, do we have to be injured to train with you? And I said, well, I guess not. You know, let's see what we can do with a healthy athlete.
Let's start here and take you up to the
there you
next
go.
one. Yeah.
And so we found that if we provided them with an environment and all the tools necessary, we really could give them a fighting chance to maximize their genetic potential, but it had to be a family experience. And we started with building a house of champions. It really had to, it had to overflow into the family so that there was a chain of accountability so that every athlete that wanted more could get more. And we were creating a safe place for that to happen, a very low risk and high reward environment.
That's amazing. You know what's really interesting about these two stories is that people are motivated typically in two areas. Either you're motivated from, pleasure, like you love the arts and you want to give and all this pleasure, or sometimes it's pain of challenge, of things not working out the way, and you have to fill that gap. And either way you go, as long as you're seeing the need and it's driving you and you're motivated to serve, good things are going to come from it. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you guys. What about you?
Well, as you just said, what motivates people, what also motivates people is being able to save money. And my father and I are in business. We're independent brokers, so we're able to represent multiple different carriers, and it allows us to help our clients save money on a year-to-year basis. And why we decided to settle in Bethel, it's funny because when I was growing up, me and my sister would always say, oh, Bethel's so boring, there's never anything to do in Bethel. And that was kind of the gist when you went to school, everyone would always say that. And in the past 10 years, it's really taken off. You go down Greenwood Avenue, you see all these local businesses, most of them members of the chamber, and they're all working together, and that's everybody's main goal, is just promoting Bethel. And it really is on the rise, and that's why it's a great place, why we decided to remain in Bethel, and it's a great place for any business to get off the ground.
Yeah, it's great. What's funny is that I grew up in one of those, it wasn't even a town, it was sleepier than, but just one of those, oh my gosh, it's so boring. But Bethel is so not. There are a lot of really cool, eccentric people here in Bethel, right?
Definitely.
We're not boring at all. I love that. And every time you take the time to be present with someone, that's when you find out how cool they really are. Right. If you just kind of gloss over and you have the superficial conversations, it's not when you go to one of these events that's a networking event where you're just like, oh, here, take my card. Yeah. It's not like that. No. There's warmth, there's presence here, and I love that.
It's not competitive. It's true, I think about that all the time. I feel like I'm in a club almost, owning a place on Greenwood Ave, because you're waving at the other store owners and you just feel like you're rooting for them. Come on, team, we can do it. How can we help each other,
Yeah, and when a new business comes in, it's not like, it's like, oh, this is great.
Come on,
add to it. Bringing pies, actually, I'm gonna digress for a moment, because when I first moved to Bethel, I had another house. I won't tell the name of the town, but I was in this other town for about a year, and I hadn't met anyone. I happened to have been pregnant with, so I wasn't getting out much, but nobody came to see me. The first week that I was in Bethel, I had people knocking on the door. They brought pies, they brought swing sets. Oh my. I'm not even kidding you. I'm like, who knocks on the... Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, I had a 2-year-old and I was pregnant with twins. They knew I was going to need something. So, but how nice.
It's a Bethel thing.
Right? It is a Bethel thing.
We do swing sets.
Yeah, we need
people do pies. We do
so we can get ready to train.
Yeah, we do both. Got to keep them active.
That's right. So, all right, now as the new executive director, I'm going to have to make sure I learn all the nuances of every single event. But I think I've got a handle on it. So some of the ones that are coming up, and please you fill in, because you guys probably know even more than I do about your favorite ones. But so we've got the big Summerfest coming up July 15th and 16th, which is it's going to be amazing. I went to the one last year. It was so so much fun, right? So that gets to the other part of what I like to do. Fun.
Party.
So yes, there's the business, there's the learning, there all of that, but it's fun.
You gotta have fun.
Yeah, and then in August is the steak roast, right? And we give out awards to the businesses, which is really nice. And then the educational seminars and all of that. But what are some other events that are like your go-to favorite things?
Well, they have a bunch of different networking events. They have Business Before Breakfast. They've got the website, which promotes all the businesses. I mean, my favorite event has to be Summerfest, just because, as you mentioned, it's so fun. A close second would be the steak roast.
Yeah.
Trick or Treat Street.
Trick or Treat Street, right on Greenwood Avenue.
with all
That's
the
great.
costumes.
Bethel Bucks is another program.
that.
Yeah.
There's so many intuitive ideas that over the past couple of years the Chamber has been able to come up with and really engage the community of Bethel. And that's what makes our chamber so much different than all the other chambers, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of engagement. I like that. Good word for it.
Yeah, there's $20 Tuesdays, right?
I love
use
that $20 Tuesday.
Yeah, Well, I use that as personally, and then we
I
also
know.
offer for that, right? It was
Yeah.
that deal.
Yeah, that's good.
It's Monday. We got to put one in.
Is that one of your, what, is there an event that you most
Oh,
like
the
to
steak
go?
roast is
The steak
definitely by
roast.
far my favorite. I think my
Yeah.
daughter's favorite is obviously Trick or Treat Street, but
Right.
And
you know, the steak roast is
the
great.
holiday stroll, that one.
Oh yeah, and
That's on the Christmas tree lighting.
Yeah, that's nice. I like the horse and
Yeah,
buggy.
and having the choir,
So
town
quaint.
choirs coming
Yes.
out and singing.
Yeah, that's a great tradition, the Christmas tree lighting, for sure. That's, you know, that's kind of like a staple in Bethel that people are used to.
Yeah, exactly.
We get comments all the time from our family is when we take a lot of pictures on Main Street, whether we get out there early in the morning or we're just out there on the weekends, and we get a lot of comments about how Main Street looks, you know, whether it has flags on it or all the wreaths that go up, and they love the way that it has that old town feeling and look to it, and they can't wait to come over a holiday because then they get to see all that and
Yeah.
take pictures with us.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
great.
cool.
That is neat. That's neat. So, are you guys doing any of your own events coming up, or you have some amazing events coming up?
Well, I'm deep in summer camp mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my school, Spark Arts, we offer performing and fine arts for all ages. Creative playground for all ages. And
Oh wait, I could go to Creative Playground?
yes,
Seriously?
Wow.
you have been to the creative playground. I've seen you create.
That's cool.
So yeah, we're doing a couple productions. One will be at Summerfest. We're doing Annie
Oh,
right now with our
good.
town, and I think they're going to do a number. They're going to perform.
I'm so
So
excited
they
to
love
hear
that, to
that.
get out and jam.
The kids just love to perform. I mean, you know,
They-
you got to
yeah.
get them as many opportunities as possible.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's our big event.
Yeah.
Do you do?
We have
events there?
educational seminars throughout the year based on nutrition, wellness, or performance. We do a lot with the community schools on concussion and more of injury preparation instead of using that term prevention. I think it's thrown around too much. We can't
Yeah.
prevent an injury from happening, but we can prepare the body for a situation where it might have happened and either decrease the severity of it or have it not show up at all.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot of education that way. As
How do
far
we
as
find out about those?
you can go right on our website, and I think that's either that's going to be listed, or you go to speedtrainingct.com. We also have a constant contact email newsletter that we send out, or on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we try to stay connected that way and really
It's
offer
good
those
to be in
educational.
multiple ways of connecting.
Yeah, somebody was saying, and just to hit on that, you know, I think you were when you were introducing yourself, it's hard to in today's age to advertise because we're kind of crossing over from this print cycle
Yeah.
to this social media thing. So like I think because so having the chamber to
The
be
word of
social with, the word
Right,
of
the
mouth,
face-to-face.
it's so
Yes,
important.
It really is.
You know, just to
And
have.
you need all aspects of it. And like you were talking about the website, how great the website
Right.
is for the chamber, but you need all of it. It all needs to come together and balance. And I think that I heard that your dad was doing some, or is that you doing some of you're doing events?
Yeah,
too.
we do a couple of educational seminars throughout the year. We've had a great relationship with the Bethel Senior Center.
Oh, nice.
Probably for the past about 15 years.
Yeah.
And we give an educational seminar just, you know, to let seniors know what's out there, because Medicare itself is so confusing, and you know, there's all this terminology that gets thrown around that a lot of people don't understand. So we do that every October, which is during open enrollment. And one thing we're working on for the summer is getting these millennials together. And
Yes, I wanted to ask you about that as one.
Right.
Why don't you share from your personal experience?
Right. So, now's the time when people my age are either getting married or having children. Maybe they're buying a house and moving somewhere, or they're coming off of their parents' insurance due to age. So, again, same type of thing. We're going to give an educational seminar, just helping them navigate those waters and explaining some of the terminology, maybe some of the things they should look out for when they're searching for a health insurance plan. I get a lot of my friends that ask me all these questions because they're unsure of what it all means, and especially with the Affordable Care Act and the chaos that's caused. It definitely pays to use us as a resource for sure.
It's a good thing that they're friends with you. You get this free resource here, right?
Exactly.
Why you up here? No. But so, how about engaging the millennials within the chamber?
Right. That's something that over the past couple of years we've been able to implement a young professionals program. We started it with the Bethel Chamber of Commerce and the Brookfield and the Newtown Chamber of Commerce. And we had this tri-chamber young professionals group.
Cool.
And we had a couple of events, and before you knew it, the Connecticut Young Professionals, which was a statewide organization, reached out to us and wanted to combine. So we were able to branch out and work with them. And again, they're all over the state. They have events in Stamford, New Haven is a big spot for them. And they didn't really have a lot of young professionals events in this area, mostly because it's a little bit more suburban and everyone's a little bit more spread out. So we were able to latch on with them, and now we have events throughout the year. And a lot of people might not know about Bethel, but when they come here, they really get to experience it and say, "Hey, this is a really cool place."
Right.
So
They don't forget it.
right. So.
It's interesting because we were talking about the small town, the warmth and all of that, and you get the connection of that. But now we're talking, okay, so now it's expanding, and you're going out. And it's funny, I got a friend request from the International Federation, some guy from Paris. He's like, hey, in the Chamber of Commerce in Paris.
Okay.
Like, sure, that's great. So it goes back and forth, global, local, it's all great and fun and part of the whole learning of it all. So what I'd love to do, we have about 5 minutes left. So I'd like you to each maybe just say your website once and then say your biggest thing, words of wisdom we'll call them, that you would give to someone who is maybe any size business, because we have some very large businesses in the Bethel Chamber as well. So we've kind of been talking about some smaller businesses, but there are a lot of large businesses as well. But any advice that you might have for a business either that's starting out or that's, maybe you could talk about your book. I don't know. I don't want to plant a seed. But let's go down. You say, you're like, what book?
My movie?
She's working on it. I'm trying to draw one out of her. It's in there. I see it. I totally see it. So Clay, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So one of the words of wisdom that I would give to any business owner that is thinking about joining the chamber, a lot of times we get, okay, well, what do I get out of my chamber membership? That's not necessarily the right way of thinking. What's more accurate is maybe how can I get the most value out of my chamber membership? Can I sponsor an event and get my business out there where maybe people might not have seen it otherwise? Can I go to these networking events? Can I go to this business before breakfasts and expand my own network? So now, being able to help my clients in my industry is not the only thing that I can provide to them. I have a bunch of other people that I could refer them to, and just a bunch of people that I have a great relationship with, and as you alluded to before, all looking for the same goal.
Great. Oh, and just give your website, please.
Oh, it's healthinsresources.com.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Erin?
I mean, I don't know, I'm still gaining the wisdom. I don't know if I have a whole lot to give, but there's a lot to get by giving. And I learn daily by you know, taking risks and putting myself out there, putting myself around people who are doing what I want to do, and just constantly taking risks and trying to expand myself and get out of my comfort zone and never being afraid to ask for help.
I love it. Those
That's
are
a big
great,
one.
great words of wisdom. But could you just
Oh
repeat
yes,
that?
I'm sparkartsbethel.com.
Thank you. And what about
And she
you?
borrowed mine. Be comfortable with, with being uncomfortable. Now wake up with a pit in your stomach every morning. That you just don't know what's going to go down, right? But you know it's going to be great. And continue to surround yourself with people that are growing. You know, it's better to be green and growing than red and ripe. That's what we always say. And to get out into the to give advice as a chamber member, it's get out from behind your desk. Is not be afraid to go during the business hours and visit these businesses. I mean, I'm pretty much a foodie, so I try to go and enjoy each business. Yeah, and I'd rather shop here. We can walk downtown from our house, and I'd rather just shop here as much as possible and make it known that I'm also a business owner, and stop and talk to these people, because everyone has an awesome story. And I think if we stop giving so many facts and we start telling more stories, I think we're all going to come together as a community, because then we're going to be able to know, like, and trust each other. And it's not even going to give a second thought to who we refer someone for our business. We're like one big family. So get out from behind your desk and start walking the street.
I love that. And how about your website?
Well, our website is speedtrainingct.com.
Okay, that's great. You guys have been amazing. Didn't that fly by?
Yes.
It really did,
Yeah,
yes.
that was great. You guys are like awesome. So just one more time, Claire Karen, Aaron Volpentesta, Keith Deo, thank you so much.
thank you.
For any of you considering coming to the Bethel Chamber of Commerce and you want to check it out, come to the Summer Fest, because that's the next big one that's happening July 15th and 16th. I want to make sure to give the right times and dates. But check it out. Go to discoverbethelconnecticut.com and you can get all that information there, as well as some information about you guys and some of our other amazing businesses. So thank you again for joining us, and thank you guys so very, very much. Yeah. So what's the next step?